What's going on, guys? It's Nab Sultan, and this is Sultanic Dots. And today I got a really good video for you guys. It's about addiction and how addiction is actually the greatest opportunity in front of you right now if you're feeling lost. We're all addicted on some level, and not every addiction is going to be, you know what I mean? There's extreme forms of it, and then there's also some more mild, subtle, acceptable forms of it. And to start this off, I want to explain how I got to this realization. So about, you know, 90 days ago, I had a breakup with somebody, and I remember on the second day or third day when I was driving home, I just felt my nervous system just kind of in overdrive. You know what I mean? Grasping for some kind of relief because I couldn't really call this person, right? Before calling her would have given my nervous system that relief because my nervous system was used to this person every single day for the most part, feeding me, you know, oxytocin, all these happy chemicals, right? So now that she's not around, I need something to supplement it, right? So on the way home, I stop and I buy a pack of cigarettes. Now, I haven't, been a smoker for like 18 years. You know what I mean? I've had an odd cigarette here and there, but I haven't really been a dedicated smoker for 18 years. And I buy this pack and I'm literally smoking three back to back before I even get in my car to keep on driving home. I gotta say that's how unregulated my nervous system was. And pretty much for, the next 80 days or so, 75 days or so, I was smoking about a half a pack a day, 10 cigarettes a day. You know what I mean? It was like 1, 2 hours go by, smoke, have a coffee, smoke. And I developed an addiction. And, you know, as the time went on from the breakup and I started to, integrate this, having this person not in my life anymore, and I began to, create more and more detachment, healthy detachment, right? I didn't run into a lot of other vices. I really processed the breakup, in terms of what I was feeling, anger, grief, all these emotions that come up after breakups or bad events. I started to understand that a lot of my unprocessed grief or emotions from this relationship are still being suppressed by the cigarettes, right? So I had this realization that once I give up the smokes, there's going to be more that comes up, and that's exactly what happened. I went from being pretty much really detached from this person to stopping, and that's 72 hours. You know what I mean? From the last one that I had, becoming very intense, becoming very obsessive in thoughts about my ex. And, like it was like kind of like a battle to, not reach out in some sense, right? I wasn't going to reach out. My decision was final about what happened, but, it's still like I could feel my body just fighting for it, fighting for it. And after these 72 hours passed, what I noticed was that I had this urge to go and watch corn, right? I don't watch corn. I stopped watching corn a long time ago. I think it's a really destructive, disgusting, bad habit that Western society kind of leaves abundant for everybody, which I think it should be banned. And I was like, that's strange, And then I had this strong urge, like my horniness went up. And I was like, wait, like what's going on here? And I started to understand that as I'm giving up this addiction, another addiction, my body is fighting for another addiction. And as I'm resisting these new ones, my body, my brain, and my nervous system is seeking another addiction. Maybe it's a digital addiction, um, or whatever it is. It's constantly jumping around. And it kind of let me understand something and realize something that When you are not ready to feel something, you will jump to addictions. And a lot of you that have these addictions in your life, whether it's social media addiction, dating app addiction, external validation addiction, substance abuse, alcohol, even a lot of people that are, I call them gym cells. They're just like always in the gym, right? I go to the gym too, but it's not my personality. It's not my life. It's something that I do 4 or 5 times a week. I'm a maximum just to maintain myself. But some people, everything is the gym. They're avoiding stuff. They're avoiding some pain. They're avoiding some kind of event that is repressed and not being processed in a healthy manner. And then they run to these addictions. And this is why the video I say is that addiction is your biggest opportunity. If you have an addiction at this current moment, I'm letting you know that stopping that addiction and resisting the urge to jump to a next one, because that's exactly what your body's going to do. Your body is going to run to another one. You might go from trying to quit smoking, and I don't have IG on my phone, but you can end up becoming IG doom scrolling. Doom scrolling is an addiction. If you start taking all these things away from you, you're going to feel this uncomfortableness rising up in you, right? But that's just what's that's just the breakthrough that's starting to happen for you. And you have to be strong and you have to push through this, because when you come out on the other side, you are going to have some kind of new awareness, some new kind of clarity about your own situation in your own life. And a lot of your unconscious is going to start to reveal itself. Carl Jung talks about we have our conscious and our unconscious, and a lot of our decision making is running on the unconscious. And the goal is to integrate this other part of you into your conscious mind so they work unilaterally. If they are not working aligned and if they are not unilaterally, connected as a team, you end up having self sabotage. You end up working on things. You end up being given gifts in life. And if this other part of you, your unconscious, is not dealt with and it has low self esteem, it has a scarcity mindset, it has a self destructive mindset, it will pop its head in and start ruining this progress that you're making. And there's a lot of people, myself included, that throughout our lives, we've always been like 2 steps forward, 1 step back, 3 steps forward, 4 steps back. It's this constant thing that's going back and forth. And it's always going to be like that. It's always going to play out in your life if you don't regulate your unconscious. And a lot of our repression to the unconscious is through distractions and addictions. And I challenge you, right? I challenge you, if this video is making sense to you, if what I'm saying resonates with what you're saying, with what you're thinking, is make a list of your biggest addictions and make it a plan, make it a goal to start eliminating these. And as you eliminate these, really start to get, conscious and in terms of even journaling what starts coming up, and start doing this work on your own, because it's very, very rewarding. It's gonna lead you to huge breakthroughs in your life, because you are being run by this unprocessed grief, this unprocessed trauma, unprocessed anger, base shame, guilt. There's a lot of lower frequency emotions that are kind of keeping that you're being trapped in, because you're not getting to the point where you can break through and spiral upwards into the higher levels of emotional states and emotional consciousness. So what separates the lower levels with the top levels? It's actually courage, right? So you out there having the courage to actually say, you know what? Yeah, I'm fuck this shit. I'm going to start to regulate my own nervous system. I'm going to start cutting out these distractions. I'm going to start cutting out these coping mechanisms, and I'm going to start cutting out these addictions. And I'm really going to sit there and process what's not being processed from it. And you have to be ready for your body to quickly jump to something else. It's going to run and try to pick up another addiction, you know? And you got to just kind of sit there and watch it. It's almost like there's like this crazy scared rat that's running around your living room, and you're standing there with 2 or 3 friends trying to corner it. And as soon as one friend's about to get it, it runs and it goes to this one. And then if another friend goes to run and get it, it runs and it goes to this one. And that's what it's going to feel like. That's what it's going to feel like when you're trying to get it under control. So guys, remember, addiction is actually a pathway, a doorway to a lot of unanswered questions about yourself. And if you can get, if you can accept that, and if you have the courage to walk through that, from courage, you can start to enter a lot more higher dimensional emotional states that are really going to fulfill you more. But it's a process. You got to go through it. You got to, first of all, make that decision. Second of all, you have to create the discipline to not run to the next ones as they come. You have to have the self-awareness to also be aware that at this moment you want to jump to junk food, you want to jump to corn, you want to jump to whatever easy, low-hanging fruit there is, because that's what you're going to do at first. You're going to jump to these low-hanging fruits because they're so accessible and they're right there and they're so easy. And you have to also use that awareness to kind of keep a disciplined log about what you're going through and processing. So guys, Nav Sultan, this is Sultanic Thoughts. I'm going to cut it right there. And I want to let you guys know, I'm starting to realize how sensitive YouTube is. You get what I'm trying to say? I uploaded a video about why women hate passport bros. And I think I started the first minute a little way too blunt, a little way too anti-PC. And it's kind of penalized me. I had like about a 25% watch to like ratio, and YouTube was throttling me, and they weren't really showing that video the way they've shown other contents. So starting to kind of realize and come to terms that YouTube is a platform where I'm going to have to learn how to say things in a more creative way so that the reach doesn't get effective and my message can get out there, right? Because that was a great video, and if you guys haven't watched it, please go watch it. That's a really, really good video. I really, really like that video about, why women hate passport bros, and I think you guys will like it too. Go check it out. Go like it. Go leave a comment. And guys, I'm on TikTok now, and I'm on Instagram. I will be posting those links from now on. And, stay safe out there, fight your addictions, and leave a comment about what you think about this video. Peace.